Who's that over there? Good morning, Saturday the 1st of March. We have had a bloody nightmare, to say the least. Do you recognise this chap here? Look.
Me?
Do you recognise him? We've met up with Steve off Moreland Rose, of course, slow boat through Britain. We're going to be cruising with our friend Steve. Good to see Steve. But we've had a crap morning.
We haven't. It's boating.
It's been a horrible morning. We started our engine this morning and everything seemed normal. We walked down to see Andy on his boat, as we do most mornings, have a little chat in the morning. And then we heard a beep coming from Chugs. The engine had stopped. We couldn't make out what it was. And then we dipped the diesel. We had no diesel. We ran out of fuel. Now, bearing in mind we had a full tank at Wixall Marina, we thought we'd been robbed. There has been a little bit of thieving going on the canal for in between Ellesmere and here. So we dreaded the worst. Well, it turns out on investigation we weren't robbed. We actually had a hole in the bottom of our fuel filter, on one of the fuel filters. So we do have some diesel in the wrong place at the moment. It's not good, but we can sort that. But thankfully, Richie from Chamberlain Fuel saved the morning. He delivered us a new fuel filter and brought some fuel, and another boater down there, Steve, a friend of ours, took me first thing this morning with the jerry can to a garage, a petrol station up by Calverley. He took us, took me in the car, and we got 20 litres, so we managed to put 40 litres. But we are about £200 worth of fuel down. It's not good news. It's been a bad morning, but we're up and running. Chugs is running lovely. Everything's good again now. It's got a new filter on. But we could have done without that this morning. And now we've got Hurleston flight to contend with. We were looking forward to meeting Steve. Really was. Sort of put the dampeners on the morning, but it's still good to see him. Looking forward to seeing Little Nutmeg when we join him on the mooring down below. And Andy helped us. He got down there and helped put that new filter on. So, yeah. Thank goodness for good friends. But we're ready to go down Hurleston flight. I might not show everything. We just want to get through it.
Got this for a few days, haven't we?
I think so. Nice to have the sunshine. At the water point here now, top of Hurleston. We're just having a spat of things going wrong for us, unfortunately. You know, I've said in a previous vlog, our glass broke on our stove. Ordered another glass and it was the wrong size, so we're having trouble getting a new glass for the stove. We're hoping to get one from Nantwich when we get there. We were getting water at Rembury Wharf and our hose split, and they're not repairable. It was one of these expandable things. So we've got to borrow Andy's hose until we can get to Nantwich to get a new hose. And as I've said, this fuel filter, we had to buy a new fuel filter, get some more fuel, and we've lost about £200 worth of diesel. So we're having a bit of a bad spot. But it all brings tomorrow, doesn't it? I think these things are sent to try us. Cake. I think we need cake. Andy's just topping up with water up there. He's going to need quite a bit, so he's going to follow us down. But I've got Steve. I think Nicky's gone down to the next lock to set that. Let's just get down there. We've had a morning. Cheers, Steve. Moored up. What a horrible day. It hasn't been the best of little cruises. We only started up at the top of that hill up there, Hurleston. Came down through the forelocks and we moored up at the bottom. We had a lot of fuel in the engine bay. Luckily, no spillage into the canals. Everything was contained in our engine bay, which in a way is a good thing. And a boater further up there had some containers, a few containers, and a wet vac, and he can make use out of that fuel. I think he uses it for stoves and bits and pieces. It's relatively good fuel, to be honest. But he had a wet vac and has taken it away. So Chugs is as clean as a whistle. The engine bay's all empty, but we did have quite a bit of fuel in there. And it's done. It was just lucky that this guy was here, that he had a wet vac, that Andy and Steve were there to help as well at the top of Hurleston. And it was brilliant of Rich from Chamberlain Fuels to come up and bring that filter and some fuel for us. And of course for our friend Steve that was on his boat up there, he took us to get some diesel as well. And we thank the Lord that there's no spillage in the canal. That's the main thing. You imagine that amount of fuel going into the canal, that would have been disastrous. We haven't spilled a drop. Good news. I think we're here till Monday. We deserve a rest tomorrow. The forecast is looking good. We'll see you next time we move. Cheers. Good morning. Monday, the 3rd of March. We had a lovely day off yesterday here. It was really nice, sunny and warm. It was like a spring day. And we've calmed down a bit after the trauma with the fuel leak. Just thank goodness everything slotted into place when we moored up, and we managed to drain our engine bay of, well, close on, I think, 140, 150 litres. And someone made use of it, so that's, well, it's thankful. But again, we're just thankful that it went in the boat and not in a canal. All good. We have got a cruise to Nantwich today. We've got complications with the glass for the stove, but we can pick up a new hose, I hope. And we've got to get fuel, obviously. We're running now, we've got about 35, 38 litres on board. So we're going to cruise steady to Nantwich, get some fuel, and we'll have a chat when we get going. See you in a bit. Yeah, in a better mindset this morning. It did us good yesterday. Nice restful day sitting in the sun. Steve and Andy have already left to Nantwich, and Nikki, I can't see her now, but Nikki's took Biscuit for a walk. She's walking down the towpath for a little bit and stretching the puppy's legs. We do it, we don't film it often enough really, but the puppies go off and have a walk with Nikki. So she's enjoying her walk, and I'm enjoying the cruise, which she'll be back on shortly. Well, the forecast says it's going to be dry all day today, but cloudy. This is all right. I can live with this. Not too windy, and it's reasonably mild. It's not too bad at all. Nice day for a little cruise. Kids are on the boat doing their schooling. Noah's writing all about jellyfish. He's doing a project on jellyfish, and he's finding stuff out about that, drawing pictures and writing about them. And Lily's doing some maths and English exercises today. Yeah, it's just a lot better morning. It was awful to see all that fuel in the engine bay. It really was. Heartbreaking, to be perfectly honest with you. It wasn't good. But on a lighter note, we do have some thank yous. Yesterday we were sat in the sun, and we had a message of Anthony from Narrowboat Life Unlocked. There was a lovely couple looking for us. They had some logs for us, and it was lovely to meet Bob and Nikki. They brought 3 huge sacks of kiln dried logs for us, and it was amazing. Thank you very much, guys. They sat down and had a brew with us in the sunshine, and it was lovely to talk to you both. They have offered us a lift as well if we need anything, and it's very, very kind of you. Lovely to have a chat with you, and hopefully you'll be in touch and we can meet you again. It was lovely to meet you. And then we were sat down having yet another cuppa, and another couple, supporters and patrons of the channel, Phil and Kath, turned up, and we sat and had another cuppa with you. Lots of tea and coffee was consumed yesterday. Good to see you guys. Keep in touch, give us a call, and hopefully we can meet up with you further down the canal. They do like to walk a lot of the canals, Phil and Kath, so it's nothing for them to drive in their car and walk a couple of miles. They like their walking, so it'd be good to have a catch up with you further down the cut. Good to see you guys. You been a good boy, Biscuit? Is you a good boy? Don't know whether the camera's picking that up, but there's loads of little flies, little midges. Sort of flying around Chugs here. Look at them. Everywhere. Loads of them. Ugh. Feels strange going through these waters again. It's been about 2.5 years since we've been through here. Very familiar waters to us. We did spend a lot of time around here, but it's nice. Sometimes familiarity is good. It is good. It feels nice, especially after the day before yesterday. This stretch here was very, very narrow with all the trees, but as you can see, the CRT, I think, or one of their contractors, has cut them all down, so at least you can see around the corners. It's much better now. It really is. But that tree, I think most of it is willow, so it's no good to us, and it is on private land, so we don't really want to be mooring up and pinching it anyway. But yeah, it's nice to be able to see coming around this corner. Nicky's just come back on board with Biscuit, just putting him in and putting the washing machine on, as we are using the water point in Nantwich. And we won't hold anyone up, and we might as well get a bit of washing done. But there is a lovely laundrette that you can use in Nantwich Marina, and we planning on using that. We do the big things like the bedding and the towels there. Get it all nice and clean and dry, ready for the next little trip. I like that. Just coming into Nantwich now. We've got a small marina on the right, and then we've got the services. Nantwich services again. The marina's just here. We're going to use the services here, then pull forward about 50 yards or so and get fuel and coal again. And now to the fuel point. All moored up.
He's just been telling me about you.
Oh, trauma. That's us all moored up. We're in between Wolf Moon, Andy's there, Steve on his boat, Moreland Rose, he's behind us, and we're sandwiched in the middle. It's late afternoon now. We've actually had a few cups of tea on the back deck and a nice chat, which was nice. So this is us for a few days now. Still struggling to get hold of this glass for the fire, but I'm sure we will. Topped up a little bit with fuel. We haven't filled her up. Very expensive hobby, this boating, Lark, but we've got fuel on board and a couple of extra bags of coal, so we're good to go. Sorting tea and everything out now. We're going to hunker down in the boat. It's starting to get cold. But yeah, feels nice to be back in Nantwich. We'll catch you when we move on.